So, hello everybody, my name is Lucas, and today we're going to be doing a quick review on the Elder Scrolls Online Beta. This review will have my first impressions on the beta and nobody else's, so if you do not agree, that's because they're not your opinions. There's not much I can show on screen without copyright infringement issues getting involved, so I'll do the best as I can. Let's get started. Throughout this video I'm going to be covering four major topics on the game. Character creation, gameplay impressions, progression, and the overall rating that I'll give the game. I received my beta invite sometime early February, and I played on February 10th, 2014. Let's get into some screenshots here. There's going to be a lot going on in the background while I talk, so just enjoy the view and listen to what I have to say. Before I get into the character creation section of the video, I'd like to tell you my standing on the Elder Scrolls series. I started playing on my 360 with Oblivion. I moved on to play Skyrim on my PS3, and I signed up for beta months and months ago, now to only get invited just recently. So I obviously am a big fan of MMORPGs if you've seen any of my other videos. And I was really looking forward to start playing this one because it was based off of one of the best-selling RPGs in history. So that's where I stand. Let's get started with the first section of the video, which is character creation. I have a video made up. I hope I'm allowed to show it. Here we go. The character you're seeing right now is my character Weaver, who I started playing right away. He is a sorcerer. This is a character I made earlier to test out the character creation options, which there are in fact many. So here we go, getting started. You can see there are the three alliances at the top there. You can choose male and female, and then you have your race, which there are 9 available unless you buy the Imperial like Collector's Edition pack, and then you get the Imperial race as well. So I'm just going through the available races here. They are the same races that were available to you in Skyrim and of course Oblivion, and I'm not sure before that, it's probably the same. Sorry about that. The race that I choose to show you here, I think I choose Nord and go with that. So just 1 second. This video was completely pre-recorded, so I'm just narrating over it now. There's a female model. You'll notice that the Khajiit and the Orc and like all the other races, their graphics are toned down from what you've seen in Skyrim to make them work in an MMORPG environment, but I think they execute it really well with the art style. Okay, here I'm choosing a class which just gives you extended stats in certain things like magic, like the sorcerer that I chose, or like swordcraft or archery. Okay, here we're getting into the customization options. You can see that there are varied body types. You can mix and match. Body markings, that's a cool one to make your character unique. And there are many little tweaking options you can choose from. Alrighty, so now I get into the face, which I'll probably change those horde markings. But as you can see, there are voices to choose from. I don't know if you can hear those, but that's pretty cool for an MMORPG. That's usually strictly for console games, but to find that in an MMO is extremely cool. I found that hair options were a little limited while going through these, and there were like 3 bald. I don't know if that's just part of the beta, but that's what happened to me. They may not just have loaded or whatnot. Speaking of which, the download of the game didn't take as long as I thought. It was only a few hours to get the whole game downloaded. So some of you will be happy to hear that. Also, my computer is nothing special. It's just an Asus V550C. It's got 8 GB memory, Windows 8, and NVIDIA GeForce 740M graphics card. Nothing special. State of the line. No, what? It's like entry-level graphics card for most consumer laptops. As you can see here, I'm going through face markings. There are quite a few. I think I chose none. Yeah, I stuck with none. like to keep my faces pretty simple. You can change eye color. You can even change like ear rotation and jawbone structure and tons and tons of stuff you can see there on the right. So anyway, to conclude the character creation section, I'd like to say there are many options on character creation. A lot of the races do look similar to each other now because it had to be toned down graphic wise for an MMO format, but nonetheless the character creation is extremely varied and there are many options to make your character a hero to be remembered. So let's get into part 2. Now for the gameplay section, I recorded little bits of my gameplay and altered them. It's nothing new. You've seen tons of stuff like this out, released by IGN and things, so nothing special here. As you can see, the UI, user interface, sorry, is extremely simple, I guess. It's kind of console-like, like you would see in Skyrim, but they also execute it in a way that it's fast and responsive. As you'll see here, I can cast a spell and then dodge to the right or left. Cast another spell, dodge to the right. That works just as flawless in first-person view as well. So when you start off, you are in a jail cell and you talk to a prophet who you must find a way to release. So you find a partner, it's a girl, and you go through a few tasks, little quests, and all the quests are voice acted as well. So you go through quests and you release this prophet guy and you go out into the main world where you'll find tons and tons of characters. Obviously the game's very new, so you see tons of players out playing and tons of people having a great old time. A few things I'd like to mention though is I was talking with some players in the zone chat while I was questing around in my first hour, and a lot of people have some very good points. Firstly, the interface isn't exactly user-friendly at first. I couldn't remove my party members from my party. I could not find certain quest objectives. The map is a little bit confusing to figure out, but then again, isn't that exactly what we look for in a new MMO? If any of you play World of Warcraft like I did when I first started out, most of the fun was being overwhelmed by this world to figure out, so I kind of accepted that and enjoyed it and learned things as I could. There are options to do all the things I couldn't figure out. There is a way to figure it all out, it's just you kind of have to do some research and do some thinking and figure it out. But it makes it fun nonetheless. What you're seeing on the screen now is some IGN footage, just of some game landscapes and stuff like that. You can see that the graphics are very nice, even for a console game, but for an MMO you aren't going to find better graphics. Maybe Guild Wars 2, but does anyone even play that anymore? Okay, moving on. Another good point made by a fellow player was that what is going to happen with the MMO experience of grouping up, chatting with friends, when there are console players thrown into the same world? Are they going to be in the same world, or are they going to have separate worlds? How is that going to work? Because we have, like as PC gamers, have the keyboard as a utility that we can use, and let's say a PS3 gamer, not every single one of them has a USB keyboard attached to their controller. So that is something I've been thinking about. If you have the answers to these questions, by the way, just leave a comment and I will look through them and make sure to add annotations after answering my own question. Of course, there's the inevitability of the chat being filled with, is Elder Scrolls Online the WoW killer? Lots of gamers responded to this question asked by someone saying that there will never be a WoW killer. WoW will always have a subscriber base, but they do believe that Elder Scrolls will be a popular title. Whether it's worth $15 a month is another question, but will it follow the same path that Star Wars The Old Republic did, and have to go free and rely on microtransactions from an in-game store? I'd like you guys to leave your opinions in the comments, because that's something I'm seriously curious about. Lastly, no game is without a few complaints. I found myself finding it hard to follow a main quest line, as there are many side quests thrown at you right from the beginning, and even during your main quest, side quests just appear at you as things you can do, but there is nothing stating which quest is the main quest line. Another thing is that with each game being, not each game, sorry, with each quest being voice acted, no one really wants to sit there and listen to the voice acting, so I found myself, after a while of trying to enjoy it, skipping through parts and losing track of the story. I know there will be players who will listen to everything the voice actors have to say, but there are going to be also a lot of players who lose the story because they don't want to sit and listen when all they want to do is get into the main bulk of the game. So, with all that said, this is the end of my gameplay portion. I guess moving on to progressions now. Now, when I say progressions, I mean leveling up, leveling your class, leveling specific things like archery and magic and stuff like that. Is it like the console versions of the past titles in the Elder Scrolls series? And the answer is yes, they are. When you pick a class, you are extending your stats, but you aren't necessarily limiting yourself to only using a bow or only casting spells. You can do whatever you want. You are just more powerful in a certain aspect. You can still go and level up your stealth. You can still go and level up your light armor by using it, but you are not, like in other MMOs, strictly forced to use one skill set. How it works is as you kill mobs and use abilities, you level up your main level, which then goes and levels up other things as you use them. So as I use a certain class of magic, I level up that magic, and it unlocks abilities within that skill set, and then when I level up I get a point to use within my skill set. So because I was a sorcerer, I focused on magic, and I leveled up my magic. So I was really curious to see animations, as I'm sure a lot of you are too, as to how the spells are executed, first person and third person, and how they work. So I got some clips here for you to watch as I'm talking. Enjoy. I did not level up much past level 5 as I was trying to get this video out on a strict deadline, but I did unlock a few cool spells right in the beginning, which goes to show how cool abilities are going to be at higher levels. I really like the animations of your crossbow here on your main staff, how you can cast and dodge. That's really cool. And I think coming up next is a summoning spell, which is also animated extremely well. How cool is that a level 5 can do something as cool as that? You would never see that in a game like World of Warcraft or anything of the like. So, to complete my review, it is section 4, which is my overall rating. I'm sorry if I missed something that you guys wanted me to talk about. This is kind of really fast to make. I made it really quickly just to get it out. So to conclude my video, my final notes are the pros and cons of the game. Pros is good progression like you would expect in an Elder Scrolls game, immensely good graphics. They do a few things new. The user interface, even though slightly lacking, is fun to use, and basically the game is fun. Cons include the down-toned race graphics that you're used to. I didn't really like that. As well as a few main quest lines being hard to follow, and some user interface bugs. Other than that, I had a really great time playing today, and I hope you guys will pick up the game when it comes out. My overall rating of the game would have to be 8 out of 10. Consider that, IGN, and everyone have a great day.